Hey everyone, my name's Drew, and today I'm going to introduce you to Thieves Highway, an exciting board game adventure that's so much fun, it's criminal. Today I'll walk you through the setup, rules, and many of the twists and turns you'll face along the way. By the end of this video, you'll know how to play smart, capture bad guys, and maybe even pull off a win. So let me give you the story behind Thieves Highway. The board game is set in the wild age of the Roaring Twenties. Five crime bosses have taken over your town. They control the banks, the justice system, and the general population. Chaos and confusion reign. You're a vigilante, and your mission is simple: capture all five bad guys and recover $50,000 in stolen cash. Do that, and you're ready for the victory dance. So, now that you know what the board game is about, let's talk about how to play it. First, we have to set up the board. One person has to be in charge of the resources. They will be considered the banker. Each player is then given $15,000 in cash, three option cards, a reference card, and one lawyer, the dependable Al Average. So in Thieves Highway, cash fuels your moves, option cards let you bend luck in your favor, and lawyers, well, they keep you out of trouble. The remaining items, money, bad guy cards, and the offense tokens, stay with the banker. The lawyer and the highway cards are shuffled and placed on their corresponding space on the board. The top lawyer card is turned face up on the deck, and the game can be played with two, three, or four players. But for clarity, we'll run through a two-player demo here. So, let's dive into starting the game. First, each player chooses a token: red, gold, black, or silver, and then places it in the center of the game, which we will refer to as Victory Place. To decide who goes first, everyone rolls the dice, and the highest goes first. That player rolls again and starts the game counting the first square outside Victory Place as their first move. In Thieves Highway, you must always move your token in a forward momentum. Backing up is not permitted. You may pass through Victory Square at any time during regular gameplay, counting Victory Square as one space when you do. Let's talk about keys. There are four of them on the board: red, yellow, blue, and green, plus one restricted burgundy key that we'll discuss later. Keys are the only way into the banks, and banks are where you catch the bad guys and recover some of the stolen money. Each bank has its own payout scale. The yellow bank, Smiley Mo's, pays the least, and Big Joe's bank pays the most. So here's the reality. There's five banks, and you need to get to all of them at some point in the game. For now, we'll head towards the higher paying bank, which means we need the green key. When you reach a key station, you move in through the entrance arrow. If you roll a higher dice than needed, no worries, just step off the highway and into the key space. That key is now yours. On your next turn, if you decide, head towards Lou's bank. Once you arrive at the bank, roll the dice to see what your payout will be. The banker hands you both the cash and the bad guy card. Congratulations! You've just taken one gangster off the street, and the heat's about to rise. So now that you're done with the green bank, you'll still need to hit up the remaining banks, which are Smiley Mo, Sid, and Frank, before you can go after Big Joe. You can collect keys in any order, but here's the catch: you can only hold on to two keys at any given time. That means you'll have to plan ahead, and here's where some strategy is involved. Do you collect two keys at once or cash them in one at a time? The choice is yours. Once you've captured those four banks, you're eligible to go after Big Joe's key. Take down his bank, recover the stolen money, and add this final card to your collection, and you're ready to go in for the win. Let's talk about option cards. Simply put, option cards let you get out of trouble. Everyone starts with three, but you can get more at Bond's Pawn Shop or sometimes from highway cards or stash. They let you bend fate. Missed a key? Use an option card. Rolled too far and landed on a roadblock? Option. Want to stay put and let another player move first? Option. Now, some actions cost two option cards, like dodging a roadblock, rolling six inside a bank, or retrying any roll when you're in for the win. Option cards can't be used everywhere. They're off limits for lawyers, gambling, or inside the slammer or tank. Here's a few tips about option cards. Never burn your last option card unless you have no choice. Option cards come in handy when you're going in for the win at Victory Place. And finally, use them wisely. They'll save your game. Now, let's meet your legal team: Sam Slow, Al Average, Gladys Good, and Joe Sharp. They come into play when you're sent to the slammer. Usually, jail time means wasted turns and lost money, but with a lawyer, you can roll for freedom. If you find yourself in the slammer and want to use a lawyer, here's how it works. First, roll the dice and try and hit the target number listed on your lawyer's card. And if you hit the number on that card, you're free. If you miss, you can try again with another lawyer if you've got one. Multiple lawyers mean multiple chances. Oh, and Joe Sharp, he's your top dog. No roll needed. Hand him back to the deck and walk free immediately. Joe Sharp also blocks change places and cancels nasty highway cards. Joe Sharp is a really important lawyer. That's why people are always trying to snatch him up. You can purchase a lawyer at any time on your turn by traveling to and entering via the in arrow on the lawyer card section on the game board. Once in, you must purchase the top card showing the stated price and turn the next lawyer card face up on the deck. Once done, you must exit on your next turn. Roadblocks, the gangster's favorite trap. There are 8 on the board, each marked with a 1928 Cadillac. You want to avoid these. If you do land on one, roll again and check your reference card. You might pay a fine, get sent to the tank, or worse, be sent to the slammer. Roadblocks slow you down, drain your cash, and mess with your plans, but they also keep you on your toes and make the game unpredictable. So you've probably noticed that there are green and red lights spread across the board. Land on a green light and you get a free turn. Land on a red light and you bounce back to your previous space. At first, red lights feel like bad luck, but sometimes it saves you from something even worse. So there are 4 advance or change places located on the game board, 1 in each corner. They're great fun and opportunity to move your game forward. If you land on one, you may advance directly to your place of choice on the game board. But remember, if you're advancing somewhere, it must be within eligibility. For example, you can't advance to a bank if you don't have the key for it. And if you choose to change places, you get to choose the player and simply swap positions with them. This is great for getting people out of the center when they're going in for the win. On to highway cards. Highway cards are wildly unpredictable. Land on one, pull the top card, and follow what it says. They can be blessings or curses. Sometimes they give you cash or perks, and others fine you or send you to jail. It's that mix of chaos and luck that keeps the game fresh every round. If you need further clarification for certain highway cards, you can always consult the rulebook. When you land on this space, you have the option of buying the top lawyer showing, but if you don't want it, the lawyer card is then placed at the bottom of the deck and the top lawyer card is placed face up on the deck. This process is invaluable as it keeps the lawyers rotating throughout the game. Joe Sharp must be due soon. Now let's address these mysterious stash squares. Stash squares are hidden surprises. When you land on one, roll again and check your reference card. You might find cash, an option card, or something unexpected. Most of the time, stash squares are good news, but not always. The trick is knowing whether it's worth the detour. Now, offense spaces. Every time you land on an offense space, hit bad luck on a roadblock, or draw the wrong highway card, you get a black offense token. 1 or 2 safe, but when you accumulate your 3rd offense token, you get sent straight to the slammer. This is where the tension kicks in, because carrying 2 offense tokens turns every roll into a risk. The pawn shop is like the black market of Thieves Highway. You can enter at any time, but once you're in, you must choose one transaction. You can buy option cards, free turns, or highway cards, or you can gamble at the stated price. If you do choose to gamble, you bet between $500 and $5,000, and then call odd or even. Then roll the dice. If you guess right, you win. Guess wrong, you pay. The slammer. This is the one you want to avoid. Jail. No one wants to go there. If you're sent there, roll to find your sentence, then place your marker on that number. On your next turn, you can pay the bribe to exit, or you can roll to see if you can match the target. And if you have a lawyer, you can use one of those. If your first lawyer fails, you can always try another one if you've got one. The slammer, frankly, is harsh. You lose turns and momentum. That's why lawyers and option cards are so important. The tank. The tank's like a holding cell. Roll to see your fate. If you're guilty, well, it's off to the slammer. If you get a bribe, then you get to pay the amount and go. If you get escape, roll immediately and exit. Get a stay, roll again on your next turn and see what you get. Quick and unpredictable, just like the rest of the game. Stealing keys is one of the most exciting and important components of Thieves Highway. If you land directly on the same space as another player's marker, or one space before or after their marker, you can steal their key. You can also enter the slammer and steal someone else's key. Even jailed players aren't safe. Stealing keys keeps the game competitive and unpredictable. Nobody's ever out of reach. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, winning the game, aka the victory dance. Once you've captured all 5 bad guys and recovered at least $50,000 in stolen cash, it's time for the victory dance. To do so, you must make your way back to the center of the board, which is called Victory Place. At this point, you must announce that you're in for the win, showing everyone that you have the money and all 5 bad guys. Here's how the winning sequence plays out. First, place your marker on the gold star, the starting point. On your next turn, roll the dice. Odd numbers move you forward clockwise, and even numbers keep you where you are for that turn. But beware, if you roll doubles, you get an offense. And if that's your third offense, you're sent to the slammer and no longer in for the win. Now, a reminder, you can choose to leave Victory Place at any time on your turn while you're in for the win by announcing to the other players that you're exiting, followed by rolling the dice and leaving to the direction of your choice. Ideally, you want to keep rolling odds until you pass through the sections and land on the big W. If you make your way successfully to the W, you've outwitted your opponents, you've come out on top, and now you've officially won the game. And that's Thieves Highway. You've seen how to gear up, grab keys, raid banks, dodge traps, and outsmart your opponents. Every game plays differently. Sometimes you'll be on a winning streak, other times you'll spend half the game in the slammer. That's the thrill of it. No 2 journeys on the highway are ever the same. So grab your friends and set up the board and dive into a roaring 1920s showdown, where every move could be your big break or your downfall. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial, and I'll see you on the highway.